The banking here at Bristol is 24 degrees at the bottom of the track, 28 degrees at the top of the track. That means they're going to be carrying speeds over 100 miles an hour through the center of the turns. So they will be flying around this track. Again, a half a mile. Laps will click off in about 16 seconds. And again, 300 of them tonight. Cole Custer in the 00, that blue and white high point on the hood. And Chandler Smith, the pole winner. He has chosen the outside line for the start of this race in the 81. Justin Allgaier right now leading the points. He is on the outside of row 2 in that number 7. We are racing under the lights at Bristol. And right away, look at Allgaier going to the outside, challenging for the lead early here at Bristol.
Allgaier, the king of concrete. All the racetracks that have concrete instead of asphalt. His numbers so impressive, flexing his muscles here at Bristol early. Oh, it's a 00 into the wall.
Cole Custer early into the wall, running a little bit higher line, and you see the lettering on the tires is rubbed off now. He hit hard.
He's going to try to find a way down as the race continues with the 7 and the 81. Now the yellow comes out.
It sounded like he said we had a flat. The right front is down. They run what's called an interliner. Steve, explain that.
Well, here they only run them on the right sides. The left side's no interliner, but the right side's, it's basically a tire within a tire. When the outer tire goes down, it keeps the car off the ground. That's why you don't see any sparks coming out of the right front. You can't go fast on it, but it allows Cole Custer to drive his car to the surface of his pits.
So it's early on. We saw Allgaier working his way up for the lead, but then it was the 00 of Cole Custer who's brought out the first caution. Next, CW Sports Weekend continues as San Jose State battles Washington State. And tomorrow, the day starts off with the Live Golf Team Championship from Dallas. Then it's doubleheader football action featuring TCU and SMU, followed by Purdue and Oregon State. All right, Kim, what's going on with Cole Custer?
Yeah, you see Cole Custer in that 0-0 leaving pit road. That incident into the wall, right front flat tire. The body of that car looks good, though, was just dragging the splitter a little bit. They did free him up while he was on pit road because he's going to be starting deep in the back. He said it's going to help us in traffic. But, Marty, he wasn't the only driver with problems early.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a problem with the radio, actually. They pitted a moment ago. He said he could not hear anyone from turn 4 to the flag stand. So when they came down pit road, here's Andrew Overstreet, the crew chief, telling the team to get the radio fixed.
Hello, hello. Say it again. Hello, get over there and fix the radio.
So here's what they did, Steve. They went inside the car. They tried to replace the radio as we're getting ready to come green, and they still have the radio issue. They're going to go to get a backup helmet for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Frustrating. Radio issues are so much of a challenge everywhere. Here at Bristol, nearly impossible, and with the pace lap so short, no time to work on it for the 88. For the 0-0, Jeff, interesting to have a flat tire so early. If he didn't run something over, I don't know if maybe it's a mechanical issue. We'll have to just keep an eye as the race progresses.
Yeah, watch behind the car. Rolls through the bumps. See the sparks? It makes me wonder if the car was really low on air pressure, hits those bumps, loses control, or is there something wrong with the car that made it do that? Look at the car bouncing up and down. I have to see what happens. You know, Dale Jr. and his team, they had radio issues in practice, and they were working on that after, and they obviously didn't get it fixed.
And getting ready for the restart now.
And you're talking about a huge loss of track position. I mean, the leader is going to be coming quick to try to lap him. They got to work through themselves. He and Cole Custer both. They got to work themselves through traffic.
Pretty exciting early, Rick.
Yeah, that's right.
Action.
So we have Allgaier now, who is going to restart on the outside with Chandler Smith on the inside as we get ready for the green flag.
Go, 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 rolling.
Allgaier, a great jump there. Anthony Alfredo in that number 5, the orange with the number 5 on it. That is a great qualifying effort for him. He's one of those drivers that he could shock the field if he's able to get to victory lane here at Bristol.
Battle for the leads heating up at the front of the field. On the bottom of the screen, the 16 of Allgaier had a little bit of trouble for a couple laps, stacking these cars 2 by 2.
Allmendinger.
I'm sorry, Allmendinger.
He and Brandon Jones had contact over in 2.
We see Allgaier still out front, but Chandler Smith putting the bumper to the back of the 7.
It'd be interesting if Allgaier just has enough. He'll run the middle of the racetrack, kind of let the 81 have the bottom. If Smith's in such a hurry, he'll almost let him go. He knows there's 73 to go in this stage. So much experience behind the wheel of the 7.
Both of these drivers are locked into the playoffs. And this could be the most fun race you'll ever run. Knowing you're in the playoffs and you're at Bristol, no pressure.
We just saw how low Chandler Smith went through the turn there. That is right on the bumper. This Toyota cam that we're looking off of. And we're seeing Stephen Parsons in the 45 rolling off of pit road. He is joining the field. There's Stephen.
I love that bumper cam. It kind of shows you just how much load goes through these rear tires. I mean, watch these tires right here. They almost, you know, move back and forth on the wheel. Just so much is being asked of them in the high banks. Listening to the engine field. Problem is, where do you go, Jeff, right? I mean, it's like stuck in rush hour traffic. You got to make a lane. All the 0-0 is going to look 3 wide.
Yeah, that's Shane Van Gisbergen in the 97, and he is learning short tracks. We heard Marty talk about it in the pregame or the pre-race, and he's trying to figure out these short tracks, and he has seen nothing like Bristol before, but a 3-time winner already in the Xfinity Series, all on road courses.
You're talking about nowhere to go. Well, look what happened right here. The 0-0, Cole Custer cleared those 2 guys, and Dale Jr. is stuck behind them. The 31 of Parker Retzloff trying to get by him. And that's what's so frustrating about Bristol, and that's why you run out of patience. Feel like you got to make something happen.
Blaine Perkins in the 29, just in front of Dale Jr. in that 88. A little bit of distance now between the 7 and the 81, almost a car length. Marty, is the radio any better for Dale Jr.?
Simple answer is nope, Rick. They are only in 33rd. They have to go to the back of the field. So, Steve, they've got a backup helmet out here for Dale Earnhardt Jr., so the communication no better to him. I can hear TJ Majors, his spotter, fine. Jr. cannot hear him off of turn 4 quite so well. He can't hear him in the other parts of the racetrack. So the backup helmet, Steve, help me understand what that process is going to be like to change that helmet for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's clearly buckled in inside the car. There's got to be a lot of work to put that backup helmet on.
Well, it's hard to put the helmet on. What makes it even more of a challenge for Dale Jr., he's one of the few drivers that puts his helmet on outside of the race car. Most drivers climb in, put the helmet on inside of the race cars. We ride on board with the helmets cam, give it a good shot, look at back at Dale doing work. So they're used to putting the helmet on, hooking the Hans straps, plugging the radio in. It's part of their process. For Dale Jr., all of that happens outside of the race car, then he climbs in. I loved it as a crew chief when he was my driver, because you can make practice changes. He can get in and out of the car very quickly, but making this change on a pit stop becomes a little bit more foreign to the driver of the 88.
There's action all over the racetrack. You see Dale Jr.'s hands working diligently there. You had mentioned Allmendinger. Here's A.J. Allmendinger in the 16 on the outside of the 9 of Brandon Jones.
Yeah, this is earlier. This is Steve talked about the 16 stacking everyone up. That was why. And Truex in the 20 car, Sieg in the 39, a little contact. And then look at this mess. SVG trying to learn, you said it, learn short track race, and Cole Custer got no patience, got to go.
Can you have patience at Bristol?
Not when you're running in the 30s and the leaders are coming.
And we're talking about leaders. Those are the 2 on top of the screen, the 7 of Allgaier and the 81 of Chandler Smith. Allgaier won here a year ago. Had his dad and Dale Jr. riding along with him as they went to victory lane.
So now watch what's happening. This is the first and second place car. Now they're catching the slower cars already. Lap 28, and remember, this is only, we had a caution, so they're already to the back of the field. In so many races here at Bristol, we see the lead change happen because the leader catches a flat car, he doesn't pick the right lane, and the guy in second does and takes the lead.
Things will be heating up now for Allgaier as he has caught that lap traffic. Chandler Smith right behind him. this fall, the next generation of WWE superstars will have a new home when NXT moves to the CW beginning Tuesday, October 1st. Still up front, it is Justin Allgaier, and he has led 39 laps. With those 39 laps, he has now moved into 4th all-time in NASCAR Xfinity Series laps led. He just passed Carl Edwards. Take over that 4th spot.
Justin Allgaier, in my eyes, he's the senior guy in this series, right? And this series is about young drivers trying to make their way in the sport, but it's also about guys like Justin Allgaier, very, very capable, talented drivers. And this is a great place for them. And they also have a role, and that is set the standard, right? Race the right way, do things right, race hard, and demand the most of those young drivers.
Allgaier just put SVG a lap down, and so you see the 97. Looks like he's trying to learn a little bit now. Follow that 7 around the track. How about Allgaier, Kim? Or excuse me, Allmendinger.
Yeah, AJ Allmendinger running in the 6th position. I talked to him before the race. He told me in practice this was the worst car he has ever had at Bristol, handling-wise. They threw the kitchen sink at it. Right now, still not quite to his liking. He was reporting it was just way too free firing off, so that back end of the race car wants to skate out on Allmendinger.
Kim, playoff driver Sam Mayer qualified 20th, but started last due to unapproved adjustments after qualifying. Their car was pretty decent in practice, felt like it was really good on the long runs, and that is paying dividends for them right now. On that last restart, crew chief Marty Lindley told Sam, get to the top side, we're going to burn some fuel and burn that higher groove in. He's up 17 spots since the start of this race. He is on the move in the 1 car, running in the 19th spot right now.
Car having a really nice run. The 5 of Anthony Alfredo currently in the 3rd position. It's been a sneaky good year for Anthony. 6 top 10 finishes so far this year. His best Bristol finish is 6th. 25-year-old out of Connecticut. You know, he's driven at RCR, some of the bigger teams. He finds himself on a smaller team now, but doing a really nice job. I didn't know how much speed he had. We saw it was good in qualifying, but he's showing up as well in the race, 48 laps, or excuse me, 48 laps in.
Yeah, if you're trying to learn a little bit, you can also go to Anthony Alfredo's social media. He posts his simulator runs on that social media. We see Jeffrey Earnhardt right now. He is running in the 5th position as the K9 Grass by Forever Lawn on board, and you get a good view from the top of his car. But just how fast the laps click off here.
Yeah, look how quickly the things happen. Jeffrey Earnhardt, he had good speed in practice too, so no surprise that he's able to have this pace. Let's ride along a lap Bristol Motor Speedway. This track looks, both ends look very much the same. Little differences in them. This is the start-finish line here. Jeffrey right to the bottom.
Driving away from what's behind. You can wrap the bottom a little tighter, 1 and 2. I still think you have time to gain.
It's great information. Nick Payne, the spotter. Dylan.
And this is another part-time Earnhardt in the field. Jeffrey just limited starts, and we go yellow.
Caution is out, and the 31 of Parker Retzlaff is involved, as well as the 32, Austin Green. And look at this, race leader. Allgaier has the back of the car torn off.
This is the fear at Bristol. Doesn't even matter if you're leading the race. No one is safe.
Steve, will they make him come and pull that off on pit road?
You can't, you have to have it. So they're going to have to reattach it. Let's see exactly what happens. Hard to tell. The 32's top, sparking. Obviously has some sort of issue, either a tire down or another issue. We saw the sparks. The 7, there you go, into the wall, out of control, catches the rear bumper of the 7.
Yeah, that's Bristol, right? I mean, there was absolutely nothing Allgaier could do right there. Clearly some sort of mechanical issue with Austin Green. And Parker Retzlaff caught up in it.
So repairs are going to have to be made to the 7. This is a great shot right here from Chandler Smith. Rarely are you thankful you're in second and not the lead, but at that time Chandler was happy he was about a second behind the 7. So yes, Rick, the 7 will have to come to pit road and put some repairs together. NASCAR requires certain parts of the body be attached because of aerodynamics in certain situations. We'll see what their opinion is on this rear tail, but it's a pretty heavy damage. That right rear quarter panel, I know it's a short track, but you go very fast here. Aerodynamics matters, and that right rear quarter panel is like a crutch. When you go through the corner, you lean on that air like you would a crutch, and with it damaged, this car is not going to handle the same.
That was a break for Dale Earnhardt Jr., you know, trying to work himself up, having a caution. He's gotten himself up to 24th. Now he can kind of reset. Cole Custer, he was back there with him. He's gotten himself to 17th.
And the Whelen caution lights are on. And Whelen, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders. It is the second time the caution has come out here. And there you see drivers being assisted by the AMR safety crew. They'll have to go to the infield care center, be checked out. We'll give you an update on them. Second caution comes out, and this one grabs the 7. CW Sports coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity Series is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Credit One Bank, NASCAR American Express car. What a gorgeous view here from Bristol Motor Speedway. And Marty, the 88's on pit road.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming back down pit road. This is the helmet swap that we talked about. Now, pit road is closed, but Dale Jr. made the point, we're going to be at the end of the line anyway, so might as well come while pit road is closed. You can see Dale Jr. has already disconnected the hose on top of his helmet, so they're going to pull in. He's going to take that helmet off as quickly as he can, and then he said, give me the helmet as soon as you can. I'm going to get the earplugs in as soon as I can, and then just get the window net up. Let me do the rest of it. Let me handle everything. So the work going as quickly as they can, Steve, and he said the connection is what the problem was on the original helmet. It was loose, and if he held it in a certain way that he could hear, but only when he held it in a certain way. They asked him to connect the hose there. Junior saying connect that hose. Now they're going to put the window net up. I think pretty impressive there, Steve, for them to get that done that quickly.
The helmet swap so far has gone pretty good. He's plugging in those. There's ear mold he's plugging in right there. His big challenge now is to make sure it's strapped, and he's going to get it, Hans device hooked up to it as well. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm going to be busy for a second with this hosel.
So there you go. He's like, hey, I got you. Stop talking to me.
A couple of them up here on the back.
So see his hands right there? What he's doing is there's a Hans clip, and it's tricky to get on. It has a mechanism you got to turn just right to get it latched. It looked like he got the left one done. One is easier than two because now that the left one is hooked, every time he goes to pull, it gets tight. He doesn't have as much slack in the right one because the left one's hooked.
And you see how narrow the headrest is by design. There's not a lot of room between the helmet because you don't want your head kind of banging left to right if you have any sort of issue on the racetrack.
Let's see, did he get it?
He's back on pit road. And Marty, we'll go back to Progressive Pit Road and find out. Marty, what's the status there?
Yeah, you got to love this call by Matt Noyce, bottom of your screen. Ryan Sieg trying to fight for that final playoff spot. The theory here is that they're going to come down pit road and they will not pit at the end of the stage coming up in 25 laps, and they'll run all the way to the end of stage 2. Jim Pullman told his driver, Justin Allgaier, obviously to come down. They're going to cut this bumper cover off. Allgaier said the damage is fine. We should be able to do this in one stop. He said it did not affect the spoiler at all, so this might not be a big disadvantage for the 7, Kim.
Well, Marty, Harrison Burton recently announced his return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series next season for AM Racing, and this team has had so much growth after the last 2 seasons. What can you bring to the team to continue that?
Yeah, I think just take it to the next level, right? They've been trying to strive and get better year in, year out. You know, I've been really fortunate and been to a lot of really good teams and kind of see how they run, right? So I can bring that experience and then just myself as a race car driver and try and build this into a winning program. I think it can be that. There has to be a lot of work to do, but I think we can win races next year, so that's all you can ask for.
And before 2025 starts, you got to finish this season, and that includes the playoffs. Tomorrow is an elimination race. What can you and this team do here tomorrow?
Yeah, we have, you know, a lot of opportunity in front of us. We had a really fast car in practice, and just missing qualifying really just got way too loose. And it's a finicky racetrack, so when you miss it a little bit, you miss it a lot. And we've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, but no better place than to walk off with a win would be Bristol. So it's our main goal is to try and get up front and get stage points as early as we can and just see what we have to do. And if we have to win, go try and do that. Excited
to see what Harrison and the Wood Brothers Racing team can do on the Cup side of things tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow you see what's happening on USA at 7 o'clock, countdown to green, 7:30. It is that final race of the round of 16, which Harrison is a part of after his huge win at Daytona. It was Wood Brothers' 100th win. So a part of the playoffs, and it's the last race to determine who the 4 drivers will be eliminated as we go to the next round.
I'm excited to hear that news for Harrison. We knew that he wasn't coming back to Wood Brothers. We didn't know where he would land, and I think he said it the best. He could go help a smaller Xfinity program like AM Racing build. We've seen some of the biggest stars. Dale Jarrett comes to mind, who started at the Cup level, had to go back down to come back up. Mark Martin, some of the biggest have done it. So young, tons of years ahead of him, and this series can continue to teach him a lot. And I think it'll teach him a lot about being a race car driver as well, trying to figure out how you build an organization like that. Let's listen in. Helmet looks secure. I love that the gloves are back on. Let's take a listen on the 88 radio.
All right, thanks for that hustle. Sorry, new helmet doesn't work. It's all good. You're all set now. You were top 4 car that whole time. You're going to go wear their ass out now.
New helmet doesn't work. Let me translate from a God's work with Dale Jr. for nearly 20 years. The helmet he had to start the race was probably a brand new helmet. If I know a man Dale, maybe he ran it in practice. This is probably it. He loves a certain design helmet. He doesn't get very many new helmets, so it's surprising, Marty. Sounds like they've gone back to Old Faithful, coming back down, window net down, some more work on the 88.
So a new wiring harness is what they're going to put in here, Steve. Andrew Overstreet said we can do it in about 10 seconds if you want to come down pit road. Dale Jr. took the window net down. Him himself. So they're going to be coming green here pretty quick. We'll see if they can get all this done in time so Junior doesn't lose a lap.
So now I take that back. So now I guess he's saying the new helmet they handed him didn't resolve the issue. If they're going back in the window, the problem is the field's coming to green. Now he'll be okay if he only loses 1 lap. But if you go 2 laps down, it becomes a real big issue. They're plugging it in right now.
Currently, there are 26 cars on the lead lap. This was a pretty long caution as well. There was a lot of cleanup that had to take place. You see the 88 coming off of his pit stall and will be back out on the track, which he's, oh, are the lights coming back on? They are. So they're not going to restart now. So they're going to go at least another lap. And while they're doing that, let's go back to Progressive Pit Road. Kim.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Anthony Alfredo in the 5 car, currently running in the 2nd position after qualifying 3rd. This is a great effort from a very small team. They have limited resources, and a qualifying effort like 3rd is a win for the team. Currently, Anthony just saying really bad brake shake, good on entry to center, fired off okay but getting tight. They had a good practice session. I talked with the team and they said they were a little free but made no adjustments coming into the race because they thought the racetrack would tighten up throughout the course of the evening.
So now it's Chandler Smith and Anthony Alfredo that make up row number 1. Lights are off once again. That indicates that we will get the green flag here. And they're coming back, and we'll keep you updated as to if that wiring harness worked for Dale Jr. as he's back out on the racetrack. He did not go a lap down. Pace car is off. And now coming up on 20 laps to go. It's stage 1 for Bristol. Chandler Smith fired off great. And here comes Jesse Love as well in the 2. He's moved up to 2nd. Anthony Alfredo, not as good on the restart, has fallen back to 3rd. And here comes AJ Allmendinger, and that's 16 running the higher line. Still sparks coming out when he goes through the turn.
Yeah, shocking. You would think the air pressure would be built up in the tire, kind of reducing that bottoming out, but not the case for the 16. That white and black car right there left of your screen, still sparking.
Continue to see the sparks, and here's 3 wide. Sam Mayer in the 1 has just been able to clear that 44 of Brennan Poole.
That 7 of Allgaier, that bright red car, losing the bumper cover is actually beneficial aerodynamically. This car is going to have more downforce. That's why it is required at the bigger racetracks. NASCAR classifies Bristol as a short track because of its half-mile in length. For that reason, the tail not required. So as long as the right rear quarter panel is repaired, which looks like they've done a pretty nice job, this car could actually be better than new.
So and it's an advantage,
yes,
aerodynamically, but a disadvantage because he had to restart back as far as he did.
How about Cole Custer? He started back there with Dale Jr. Of course, Dale Jr.'s had to keep coming back working on the helmet. Cole Custer on this restart, he jumped to the outside, picked up 7 spots, making it 3 wide, 2 wide, all kinds of aggressive moves. Kill him.
Yeah, and Cole Custer, this is a great track for the team. So despite that early incident with the wall where he had a right front flat, picking his way through the field, does have newer tires than the rest of the field, so perhaps that is part of it. But right now, just saying he's loose up top, tight on the bottom, Marty.
So, Kim, to Steve's point, maybe that's why Justin Allgaier said, I promise you guys, we're going to drive through the field. This is the 4th car, and now maybe the 5th car that he's passed since this restart for Justin Allgaier. And by the way, Rick, yes, the 4th time is the charm for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Finally, we're only 72 laps in and the radio works.
Well, I'm sure that was frustrating, but he's on the lead lap, so we'll see how well the 88 and Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr. can do. He's running 26th right now. He's at the back of the pack, and there's only 12 laps to go, but a close call here. Look at this. A little contact there. So Leland Honeyman in the 42.
Well, that's the problem of having to go to the back, right? Is you're behind everything that's happening on track.
And that was a product there of the 07 of Greg Van Alst, who went up the racetrack, slowed down. The 42 had to avoid. Under 10 laps to go now in stage 1. Allgaier now trying to go by Austin Hill in the 21. He sets his sights on teammate Sam Mayer in the 1. And a fight for third here. Sheldon Creed in the 18. Trying to get to the inside of the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger.
AJ's really loose. The back of his car is not planted in the racetrack on corner exit.
Door to door, under 8 to go at stage 1. Allmendinger running that higher line. Creed staying low. Creed earned his 12th second place finish a week ago at Watkins Glen. So he has been knocking on the door consistently as Anthony Alfredo runs that low line in the 5. Bottom of the screen, currently 19th. You see the 7 of Allgaier, who was leading when he got clipped, and the tail had to be cut off of that 7.
How about this battle at the top of the screen? The 18 car crossover on AJ. AJ caught him too slow in the center of the corner, passed him back.
And Alfredo's making it a 3-car mix here as he looked to the inside of Creed. Under 4 laps to go. Chandler Smith has a 2.3 second advantage right now over Jesse Love up front.
Jeremy Clemens having a really strong night.
Jeremy in the 51 as he's running currently in the 7th position. And now under 3 laps to go for Chandler Smith. At the end of each stage, the top 10 will earn stage points, and the winner of the stage gets a playoff point. That playoff point gets to be carried into the playoffs each round. And so Chandler Smith's trying to grab another one of those playoff points with a win here in this stage. 1 lap to go. And Chandler Smith, after the restart, he just pulled away from the field. 2.2 seconds the gap right now over Jesse Love. And he comes through 3 and 4. And it is Chandler Smith. That is his 6th stage win of the season. The 2nd most behind Allgaier. Top 10 all gaining stage points. Looking for a cable news network which respects all Americans? Then you have a new home with News Nation. See why News Nation is America's fastest growing cable news network. To find News Nation on your screen, go to joinnn.com. Stage 1 complete here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and they are about to open Progressive Pit Road. And that means that we'll see a lot of action as they turn onto the Progressive Pit Road now. Dylan.
Jeffrey Earnhardt restarted 5th, slid back to 8th, has been battling a tight race car all evening long, got really tight on that most recent run. They'll make an air pressure adjustment to help free him up on the corner entry. 4 tires and fuel for him, Kim.
As you see Sheldon Creed in the center, he said, good in the center of the corner. It's turning way better, but the struggle is power down off the corner. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. AJ Allmendinger at the bottom, you see that chassis adjustment. Again, he fired off way too free. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, fuel for him. As we go to the other side of the racetrack, the 5 of Anthony Alfredo, top of your screen. He was reporting, again, a brake shake, but he said good entry to center, fired up okay, but getting a little bit tight. And then Chandler Smith, that stage 1 winner in the middle there in the 81, he was reporting that he's free off the wall, needs more drive off, Marty.
Second in the stage for Jesse Love, who had never seen Bristol before today. He said, you're going to have to free me up. I'm losing time on exit. So they go up on the track bar for Jesse Love. He said, I can also see that the track is changing. And Sheldon Creed, how about that stop by that 18 bunch? They gained 2 spots here on pit road, Rick.
And we saw the race off Progressive Pit Road. Creed gaining a couple. Ryan Truex, 6 spots on pit road for that crew. CW Sports coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity Series is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. Getting ready for the start of stage 2, and those that came to pit road on or around lap 60 stayed out on the racetrack, and that is the top 10 currently.
And we see this a lot at tracks like Bristol where there is some tire fall-offs. You know, the tire loses some grip, but not a dramatic amount. So when you have yellows, you kind of get these different cycles. Remember, they only have 3 sets of tires to use during the race. So if you look, there's kind of a separation line about right there, right? Everyone above was last on pit road around lap 60. Creed below, last on pit road a lap 90. So if you look at that group that stayed out, that includes Sieg and Jones, 2 guys that must win to advance in the playoffs. You have Sam Mayer, who's won before. He's there in 3rd. You have Allgaier trying to recover from that issue. Earnhardt Jr. as well in 6th, recovering from that helmet, and that radio issue is a penalty for the 48 as well.
Tire getting away from him, Steve.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell where that tire goes if this is a better shot. Here you go. So the issue is it impedes this pit stop. The reason I didn't say anything before is because you couldn't see the car pitting to your left. So that's not a penalty if there's not a car pitting there. You can use that pit box to roll your tire away. The difference was from the second view, you saw that that tire clearly went into an occupied pit box, affecting another pit stop. That's when it becomes a penalty.
The gas man almost had to kick it out of the way as we get ready for the restart. And now it is Ryan Sieg and Brandon Jones, 2 drivers who need to win to advance into the playoffs. They start on the front row. And Sam Mayer wants to make it 3 wide for the lead here at Bristol. Sam Mayer shooting by on the outside, and he takes the lead.
What a move by Sam Mayer. I thought Brandon Jones in that yellow car on the inside had a great start. But Sam Mayer made it 3 wide on the outside and just muscled his way into the win.
Remember, he started at the back of the pack because he had unapproved adjustments. So he has worked his way through strategy, and it looks like a good race car. We see the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. there hugging the bottom of the racetrack. Here's Allgaier trying to work by Ryan Sieg now. The fight for second is on. Looking off the helmets on board. Marty, so many issues for the 88s. Are they feeling comfortable now?
Yeah, what a chaotic first stage for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his race team. But the radio is finally fixed, and under the last caution, Jr. wanted to thank his crew. Listen in.
I ran that whole first run with nothing. Don't know what that says about TJ, but appreciate everybody's help, getting everything going. Here we are. We can run this thing out.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn impressive. TJ's career might have to give up some money now.
He also thanked his crew for their patience, but now they have the track position. We'll see what kind of car the 88 has. And Steve, you got to love Junior still having some humor after all the things they've been through in this race.
That's been consistent throughout his career, perhaps become even more evident now that he isn't racing full time. He takes everything a little bit more lighthearted. He just wants to come. You said, heard him in the pre-race. He just wants to run all the laps. And currently running inside the top 5, I think, is exceeding his expectation.
Yeah, they were kind of joking about TJ Majors, who's the spotter and a long-term friend of Dale Jr.'s.
Yeah, Dale Jr. found TJ Majors up in the Northeast, and they were racing online, and he actually got him started racing with Junior Motorsports, and then the relationship built into where TJ had spotted for Junior for quite some years.
So all of that panic we saw with the radio issues, and now the track position's been gained. But a lot of new tires coming from behind. See how much they matter. 18 car Sheldon Creed, he is in a fierce battle.
Way up the racetrack he goes. You've got Cole Custer right behind him, Chandler Smith as well in that mix. Creed up to 6th now with the freshest tires. Dale Jr. now working on Ryan Sieg Jr. in the 88, Sieg in that 39 as we ride on board with the Toyota on board of Chandler Smith. He has a front row seat, and an issue now for Matt DiBenedetto in the 38, slow on the racetrack up high.
Lost power, just died.
Lost power, he says, in the 38, so they'll bring it to the crew. But like we said, laps so quick here. The 88's going to be 3 wide here off the corner. 00 on the bottom, 81 up top, still under attack.
And now he's surrounded by all of these cars that have better tires.
Riley Herbst in the 98. The Monster Energy logo on the hood. Cole Custer in the 00. Again, the front tire, right front going down on that 00, and he has bounced back nicely. Currently running in the 6th position, fighting Creed for 5th. And just that quickly, already 27 of the 85 laps in stage 2 have been completed.
Yeah, but one of the challenges for that 00, you mentioned those flat right side tires. Well, you only have 3 sets. So one set you only got 6 laps out of. So we'll have to just see if that hurts the 00 later in the race.
And Custer inside that top 5. He's running 4th now. Brandon Jones in front of him. These two, Sieg and Creed, continue to fight for a spot. Here comes Chandler Smith now. Are either of you surprised that we're seeing 2 and 3 wide racing here at Bristol this early?
I'm not. There's always a question about when the bottom will go away, when the top will go in. Well, the Cup Series practice earlier today, they were all the way to the wall. That's not normal. It normally takes more laps. What I love is when Bristol looks like this. It's multiple options. You can run the bottom. Good cars can run the top. The question I have is, will the bottom go away? Will the leaders be forced and migrate to the top and the top be dominant? That's when we're going to see some of those kind of pushes and shoves to kind of move a guy out of the preferred lane. I'm also not surprised to see the 7 of Allgaier running the 1 back down. Allgaier is so fast at this racetrack. I know he has a little damage. I don't think it's hurting. If anything, it might be helping the 7 car. And he's doing a nice job working through traffic, and now got the leader, what, within a half second, Jeff?
Within a half second, and he's looking for potentially a stage win. It would be his 15th. He is definitely leading all drivers in that category. caution has come out, and it was a wild ride for the 34-year-old out of Westport, Connecticut. Parker Kligerman, take a look at this.
Yeah, we don't know what happened down the back straightaway, but I don't know how this wasn't a massive wreck. NASCAR thought it was going to be one as well, and they threw the caution, but I'm not sure he ever hit anything.
And he's radioed back to his team, I don't think I have flat spots on my tires.
I mean, that was impressive.
They're going to change them anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dylan.
Yeah, exactly right. So it was miraculous somehow that he didn't seem to have any damage to those tires, but Patrick Donahue making the call. Come down, we may as well be careful here and put 4 fresh ones on for you.
He'll roll around pit road to come back off of pit road and onto the racetrack. But that was the 4th caution already here at Bristol. And that means a restart with under 47 laps to go.
And I think this is an advantage for those guys that have a little bit older tires. The heat cycle will kind of equalize the tires that were fresher, that were coming. The negative is they're closer to you, right? The field's bunched up. But I really think that this caution, cooling all the tires down, they should fire off. I still think advantages to Custer. In this situation, like I mentioned, he might be short on tires, which might come into play later. Creed as well, Chandler Smith, those guys that have a little fresher tire. But for Allgaier, if he can kind of get out there and get clear, this would be pretty good.
All right, let's take a look at the Xfinity fastest lap here at Bristol. And it goes to Chandler Smith on lap 69. Turned a lap of 16.156 seconds, averaging around this half mile 118 miles an hour. Kim.
And currently Chandler Smith in that 81 in the 6th position. And we know race car drivers are always looking for more. Despite the good run he's having tonight, needs a little bit help through the middle. He said up top the car just feels rigid. The change they made last stop helped with his drive off issues, but made him tight in 3 and 4, Dylan. So the next time they're on pit road, they will look for more adjustments.
Brandon Jones has flipped the first stage, and it's got him some track position. He rides in the 3rd spot right now. Crew chief Adam Wall said that was going to be on their radar of things they had to do. They know as a car that has to win to make it to the playoffs, they've got to be on the aggressive side of strategy. That's not always a bad thing, Marty. Sometimes it simplifies it for you.
When I talked to Matt Noyce, the crew chief for Ryan Sieg this afternoon, Dylan, he told me, listen, I think Bristol has quietly become one of our better racetracks. They have back-to-back top 10s here. And like the 9 car you just talked about, Dylan, give them some credit for at least trying something, Steve. They flipped the strategy 2 at the end of stage 1, but now they're paying for it with the older tires, so the car's just way too free.
Well, you see the points on the left. They're the first car below the red line. They came in that way. The 39 of Ryan Sieg, they still sit that way. That's some of the aggression. Now remember, look down at 14th. Jones in the 9 car. Minus 132. You cannot make up that many points, but a win and you're in. So for the 9 of Brandon Jones, it's all on the line. It's victory lane, or he will not be racing for a championship starting next week.
Brandon Jones, we see him on the inside of Sam Mayer. So he took the inside line, and that means Allgaier will be on the outside of row 2 with Sheldon Creed on the inside of that 2nd row.
Tells you how dominant Allgaier thinks the top is.
Back on the gas, Brandon Jones doesn't get on the gas quickly, and he bottlenecks the front of the field as Creed goes to his outside, makes it 3 wide for 3rd. Sam Mayer with the lead, then the 0-0 of Cole Custer back there in 3rd. Brandon Jones has fallen back to 4th, now 5th, as Creed is going to be able to pass him on the outside. And here comes the 81 of Chandler Smith as well.
This 0-0 car has been really impressive. Drove up through the field into 2nd place, battling Allgaier for.
Now those two were dominant a year ago. Cole Custer led 109 laps in this race, and Allgaier ended up winning the race. Some late race strategy to put on fresher tires toward the end.
You can see what happens right here. Chandler Smith, he's watching that 0-0 car. He's going to probably just run the top and hope that they kind of pin him down there. If he can't clear the 7, then the 18 of Creed, the 81 of Chandler Smith, they will try to get by him as well. That's the danger in trying to go to the bottom and make a pass. If it doesn't work, you can lose a lot of spots.
Shorter distance on the bottom, more banking on the top of this racetrack.
Yeah, you see what happens in the center of the corner, the 00 every time will make up space. See right here, faster through the middle, but then on corner exit, the guys on the outside, they don't have to turn the steering wheel as much. They can go to the throttle a little bit quicker. And it just builds so much speed down the straight. Chandler Smith, he's just lap by lap, inch by inch, gaining on the 00. He's hoping that 7 car doesn't have a misstep and allow the 00 to get by him.
They click off laps so fast here at Bristol. Way up the racetrack goes to 7. There was that misstep. But Cole Custer not able to capitalize on it. And Allgaier surging back in front, but that little mishap by the 7 backed Creed up enough that there was an opening.
Oh, the 7 to the bottom.
I'm shocked at that. He was making good time and relatively comfortably protecting the 00, goes to the bottom, and the 00 says thank you as he rolls the top. He's going to clear the 7 on quarter exit.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll give you the top.
Custer to second. Creed running that high line as well as he tries to clear the 81. He will. So Chandler Smith will fall back to 5th.
Yeah, the 7 needs to be careful. The top line has become dominant. If he continues to go to the bottom, I think the 18's got to get to his quarter panel on one of these corner exits. That's all it's going to take. Yeah, right here. So the 18's going to try to gas it up in the middle of the corner and not allow to have the 7, the extra track width on corner exit.
That currently is the fight for 3rd. Allgaier has it. Creed wants it. Mayer out front. He's led 44 tonight. side by side for the lead. And now Cole Custer surging ahead of Sam Mayer. Can he clear him? He does. And Custer leads at Bristol.
He leads at the moment, but the one still trying to hold up the top lane, can't do it. The 00 is clear. The 18 of Creed frustrated. Now he's going to try to get to the outside of the 1.
And here comes that 7. Once again, Allgaier trying to fight back.
Oh, contact. The 18 hits the rear bumper, the 1 on corner exit. An amazing save. Whoa.
Oh, and then around goes the 7. The 7 noses into the wall, and the caution comes out.
That all started contact with the 18 into the 1, stacked them all up, and then they tried to go 3 wide on corner exit. The 7 thought they were 2 wide. The replay really is about a lap earlier where the stack up begins.
And we see the sparks from underneath the 7. Here's that replay.
So right here, the 18 catches the 1 on corner entry. The 1 is loose. Now he's gaining it. He has no speed. The 18 thinks he's going to go 3 wide middle, and the 7 thinks he's 2 wide bottom.
There you go. So Allgaier in that 7 car, he is not expecting the 18 to not be all the way up the racetrack. Contact there, right? So here comes the 7. Here comes the 18 trying to turn underneath the 1, and there's contact. And Allgaier just had no concept that the 18 wasn't going to be against the wall.
And if I'm spotting the 7, I probably have no idea as well, because while the 18 turns down the hill, look, he's not really inside the 1, right? I mean, he has every right to run off the wall a little bit, but the 18, look, I don't think it's on purpose. He didn't turn left to hit the 7, but he was trying to protect that middle lane, thinking he was going to drive 3 wide middle at the end of the straightaway, and the 7 thought he had real estate. The 7 of Allgaier is obviously going to be frustrated. Let's listen.
Hit pretty hard at the end of the front stretch, or back stretch.
Yeah, I saw it.
Was that my fault?
I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's just fix the damage.
So, look, Allgaier says, was that my fault? I mean, he's even wondering, what did that look like from outside the car?
It's racing. I don't know that
That's
it's
Bristol.
really anyone's fault. I think Sheldon Creed, he saw the 1 of Mayer having a little bit of trouble on the very top of 2, and he's trying to turn underneath them. And then the 7 just doesn't realize that he's trying to turn. It's just racing at Bristol.
And all of these drivers are now going to pit with only 15 to go at the stage. Will somebody do something else and try to gain some track position?
Let's go down to the progressive pit road and Dylan.
Brandon Jones, top of the screen, just said he fired off and felt like he was on top of the racetrack. Then the car leveled off. He got a little bit tight. 4 tires and fuel for him. Sam Mayer, 4 tires and fuel as well, Kim.
As you see Sheldon Creed at the bottom, he said, I cannot roll the center like I want to. It's just too tight. He feels like he's spinning his tires, racking the corner. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, air pressure adjustment. As we go on to the other side of pit road, 00 of Cole Custer. There was a lot of debate on whether or not to bring him down to pit road. Ultimately, they did. He said just loose up top, tight on the bottom. Chandler Smith in the middle there. Rigid on the top lane. He said his drive-off is better, Marty, but still tight in 3 and 4.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said his car just needs more overall grip, and he asked about Justin Allgaier, the car he owns. He saw that contact and wanted to know how the 7 fared in that. For Justin Allgaier, they have a lot of damage, and Allgaier, before the radio transmission you heard a moment ago, said, you've got to be kidding me. The splitter is 4 inches down on the right side, so a lot of damage here for the 7 car, and this really could have a big effect in the regular season championship.
Yeah, coming in, he had a 43-point advantage over Cole Custer in the regular season championship, and you see the race off progressive pit road, and the position changes. Custer, Mayer, they're able to hold their positions, and you see now, and that's going to be equipment leaving the box. They didn't know about it, but
leaving the box, we're going to.
This is going to be a problem too.
Yeah. So yeah, he took it.
He was trying to beat the pace car out.
Flat. Stay on the flat. Stay on the flat.
Free tools.
Reciprocating saw didn't make it up into the ground.
That's an advertisement. If that thing still works.
Oh yeah. After it was run over.
Yeah, you can see the damage on this car, Marty.
He took the Sawzall and he ran over the block. I was trying to say, yeah, he took one. Now the team has had to find another Sawzall to be able to get this this splitter issue fixed for Justin Allgaier. And Jim Pullman was screaming at the team, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. They couldn't move quick enough, so he actually ran over the block, Steve, that they were trying to fix that splitter with.
Yeah, so basically they're going to jack the car up, put a block under it, drop it, try to bend the splitter back up. He takes this tool out of the pit, so this will be a penalty, as you pointed out, Rick, for removing equipment.
Will they give that back to him?
I'm telling you, that like
AMR safety crew is going to find it on the track. They'll, I'm sure, take it back to the 7 team.
Rick has a workshop. Rick has a workshop at home. He's already calling for it.
I was going to say, if they, you know, if they don't give it back to the 7 and somebody wants to claim it,
you throw in the tools. All right, so as a fellow glasses wearer in my old age, I can appreciate the battle that Dale Jr. Remember all the helmet situations? Well, look, not a new helmet this time, but here's your glasses back, buddy. They were in the first helmet you gave us, so giving the driver his glasses back. I can appreciate this. Woke up about a year ago and couldn't see anything in distance. Dale Jr.'s going to probably think, I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the handling of the race car, but he's going to have better vision.
Rick put his glasses on the other day playing golf. He parred 3 in a row.
Actually, I birdied the hole. I buried the first hole when I put them on. I was like, okay,
all right,
this works.
There you go. If you're a Dale Jr. fan, keep your eyes peeled. We'll see how much more accurate he is with the spectacles.
So they continue to work on the 7 to try to get that damage where he hit the inside wall. So next Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs begin in Kansas, and top 12 drivers are going to take their first laps towards winning the championship. It's NASCAR Xfinity Series from Kansas next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, only on the CW.
I cannot wait for these playoffs to start. It has been a year in the Xfinity Series where no one seems to want to take it and say it's mine. And when these playoffs start, you don't have enough room to make mistakes. It's essentially a 3-race schedule, and you have to start and have things go your way. The Xfinity Series never disappoints. Can't wait to get it going.
And you'd say, you know, no one has really jumped out there and said this is my series and my championship to win. Allgaier is going to start the playoffs as the playoff leader. He's got a good shot of winning the regular season championship. You get a lot of playoff points for that. And so he wants to say this is his year, but he has not won a championship. The crew working diligently to get that car ready to get back out and race as the choose taking place. Sammy Smith in the 8 will be on the inside, and Jeremy Clements in the 51 is going to be on the outside for this restart. And look at this, the Sawzall is going to go back.
We're going to need an update from Marty on the condition.
We'll just see if, if it works.
I'm on it, Steve. I'm walking towards it right now. I'll give you an update in a moment.
Should have got Junior to sign it and keep it.
The tires going back on the 7. Speaking of, all of the drivers wearing gloves, charity taking place as we get ready for the restart. I'll talk about that with Junior signing those gloves. The 7 back up to speed, trying to catch the field.
So you see the points on the bottom left, why this matters, the 51 or the 8. That would be a brand new winner, right? So that changes. The 51 leading the race. He's now in 11th in points because you win and you advance. That's just how quickly it can move as you see the 7 sparking.
Yeah, they'll have to work on that 7 at the end of this stage. Only 8 to go. Coming up on 7 as here comes the 48 of Parker Kligerman to the inside. A.J. Allmendinger in the 16. Pretty close to the 88 of Dale Jr. We just saw Cole Custer get into the wall there.
Parker Kligerman came up the racetrack, got the 00 of Custer in the wall.
Brandon Jones now to the inside of Kligerman for the lead.
Brandon Jones pitted on lap 156. Kligerman 123, the leader of the race. Jeremy Clements pitted all the way back on lap 90.
Yeah, that's for second right here. Jones and Kligerman. Clements has already put a second on them. That's why he was off screen. Take a look at the 48, moving the 00 up the racetrack.
Really loose, trying to save the race car and just got into the 00 of Custer.
Side by side for second. Jones on the inside in the 9. Kligerman on the outside with the 48.
And the 00 and the 18, their patience are quickly running out. They keep trying to peek 3 wide middle. There we go. The 00 is going to take that spot, try to get between the 48 and the 9. We saw how that worked with the 7.
7 way off the pace. We saw him go down to the apron as the pack was going by him.
It's almost the opposite of most racetracks. There's more room for 3-car in the corner. 3 wide in the corner works. It's 3 wide on the straightaway that it gets very tight as we see the 9 back up in the middle.
That was a great opportunity for the 48 in the wall.
00.
Yeah, it might have had a little help from the 00.
He probably had it coming. After the 48 ran the 00 up, Cole Custer's like, I'm going to return the medicine right here. Didn't wreck him, but definitely moved him out of the way.
Brandon Jones in that 9 car, he had a great opportunity to get track position and be leading this race when this stage ended, but he just couldn't make it happen, and now falling through the field.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in the 10th position. He was right along with the Hellmans on board. And out of 4, Jeremy Clements is going to win stage 2 here at Bristol. Handily.
That is a great stage win for a small race team, taking on teams with many more resources than they have.
Clements currently 21st in the point standings, but wins stage 2. Coming up next, it's a battle of the undefeated teams in Pullman. Yeah, that's the Coug Walk taking place here for Washington State as they're heading into Martin Stadium. It's San Jose State versus Washington State. That's coming up next, only on the CW.
Washington State, 13.5-point, nearly 2 touchdown favorites. I think this game's going to be closer than that.
You're calling it?
Well, my emotion says it's going to be closer. Deep down, I'd love to see Washington State win by 2 touchdowns.
Deep down.
Deep down.
We have the caution out. Again, stage 2 is complete. By the way, that was the first career stage win for Jeremy Clements. And he'll come to pit road now.
Those can be moments, too. Moments for partners on the hood, moments for your race team to get that stage win. The sport can kind of kick you in the teeth a lot, Jeff. You got to find those highlights during the year.
Get your wins when you can, Dylan.
Parker Kligerman is headed to pit road. He has been really loose the last couple of runs, so they are swinging for the fences. Air pressure, wedge adjustment, and a track bar adjustment for the 48, in addition to 4 tires and fuel for Kligerman.
And the crew congratulating Jeremy Clements on that stage win as he makes his way along pit road. He just said the balance was fine, a little free, loses front turn as they run. The water temp, though, is up, so they will put tape off the front of that race car as they put Goodyear tires and make that chassis adjustment on his car. You see the 8 of Sammy Smith. He plummeted during that stage. He said, I'm too free on short runs. I have no front grip, no rear grip, just 0 grip. So this team is going to take a big swing at this race car for the final stage. Marty.
His teammate Justin Allgaier still has some damage to fix. They're still dragging the right front, so you're going to see them take a jack here to the right front and try and get that splitter fixed. And by the way, the question of the night that everybody wants to know, does the Sawzall that he drug halfway around the racetrack still works? Here we go. Yes, it does. Now, half of it doesn't exist on this side where he drug it off. But, Steve, there's the answer to your question. It does indeed work.
Just wear a glove with your left hand, Rick. We'll get that for your shop at home.
Marty, use it at your farm. Just take it.
Yeah, I'll take it to my farm. We'll use it.
With the completion of the second stage and the points that were gained, Parker Kligerman is now locked into the playoffs on points. So he will race for a championship starting next week. And again, a reminder, there will be 12 drivers fighting for a title, but all 38 will continue to race on a weekly basis all the way through the end of the season. Let's listen in to Parker's radio.
They're saying we're locked in. Okay, bud? You're locked in after all these stage points, all right? Good job. Let's go race. Back up. Let's go. I was trying to run the math here, and then it popped up on the TV.
So
Wait a minute,
celebration.
they trust us?
They believe in us.
Apparently they do, which is a good thing.
Well, I tell you, that what a great feeling for a race team. You know, that was their goal coming into this year, is make the playoffs. Clearly they wanted to win races, but making the playoffs with this team is a big step forward for them. And now they get to race the rest of this race as free and as fun as you'll ever have. No pressure, just go make something happen.
Field bottled up once again, going down the back stretch 2 by 2 as we get ready for the restart. It'll be 121 laps remaining in this race from Bristol. Sheldon Creed on the inside, Cole Custer on the outside. Custer has the advantage. Creed running second. Ryan Truex in the 20 is third.
All these teams can make it all the way to the finish on fuel. Most to put on their last set of tires.
Custer got very loose in the middle of 1 and 2. Creed taking advantage of it.
They're both sliding off 4, Rick.
Custer still having some handling issues with that 0 running in the second spot now. Jesse Love in the 2 all the way at the bottom of the racetrack, but now it's Sheldon Creed who's out front. You mentioned it, Steve. They can go all the way to the end if we were caution free. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, and the 0s put on their last set of tires. Other cars like the 81, the 2, they have another set of tires. The question is, are tires worth pitting if we have a yellow halfway through the stage? We'll have to wait and see where this ends up. Ryan Truex in the 20 around the bottom. A lot of drivers and a lot of teams had Ryan Truex as one of the favorites coming into here just because of his win at Dover. Dover, a 1-mile concrete track, similar to Bristol. I mean, there's not a lot of concrete tracks, so they kind of get bunched together.
Jesse Love trying to get underneath the 81 car. Just not enough room. Chandler Smith, that's just Bristol racing. They worked it out.
You didn't say that when you were out there.
Yeah, for now they've worked it out.
If I was driving it too, I would have said it.
Yeah.
Memories are long as we see the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Steve, you mentioned you've been following the radio with that team. Might be another issue with the radio?
Yeah, he told his team that he had dropped the radio somewhere in the rocker panel and the volume got turned up. So he told TJ he had to be a little bit softer on his spotting. I just had to laugh.
And right on his outside is the 98 of Riley Herbst, Dylan.
Yeah, he's done a nice job from 15th starting position, running 6th right now, and running that high line pretty effectively. That was a challenge and an anticipated struggle for this team this weekend. Riley spent time as recently as between qualifying and the race studying data, how he could run the top side better. Recent feedback from Davin Restiva, the crew chief, to Riley: try and carry more speed on corner entry to the center. That's where your teammate Cole Custer is beating you, and a couple others as well, Marty.
So, Dylan, I'm keeping up with the count I never thought I'd keep up with for Dale Earnhardt Jr. We have 2 radios, 2 helmets, 2 wiring harnesses, 1 pair of glasses, and Steve, it's still not fixed. Yes, he asked TJ Majors, hey, I can't reach the volume button now. It's too loud now in my ear. Can you talk quieter? How do you talk quieter at Bristol, the loudest racetrack, Steve?
Well, this is going to be a shock, but I'm not really the one you want to talk to about talking quieter or less or slower. So I don't have any advice for that.
This has been an adventure for the 88 team and Dale Jr. as we see Chandler Smith in the 81 trying to take that spot away from the 20 of Ryan Truex.
Joe Gibbs Racing 1st, 3rd, and 4th currently. So good with the Cup cars in practice and qualifying. Here they are, very good in the Xfinity cars. So JGR showing that they have Bristol figured out.
Yeah, that's teammates fighting for a position here. Ryan Truex, he doesn't run the full season, but has had great success when he's been behind the wheel of the 20.
Yeah, he's done a great job and also helps Joe Gibbs Racing during the week. Simulator driver. And I think it's so important, you know, to have a guy like that also running races, because, you know, racing a computer versus real life can be 2 different things. And I think that practical experience makes the assistance he gives the team even that much more valuable.
Jesse Love is working to the inside now of Ryan Truex. We're talking a little bit about Joe Gibbs Racing. Let's take a look at the Toyota driver update with Sheldon Creed out in front. Chandler Smith running 3rd. Truex fighting for that 4th spot. Jeffrey Earnhardt in 12th and Joe Graff Jr. in 14th.
Now this is that time in the race, nearing 100 to go. The top, in my opinion, has become the dominant line. Whose car drives the best up there? Because it's going to drive a little bit different. What driver has the most comfort to run up against the fence?
How about the guy out front right now, driving the 18? That's Sheldon Creed. He has 96 career starts, counting this one. And 12 of those starts have ended up with a 2nd place finish, but he has yet to find victory lane.
I like his attitude, though. He's not frustrated. When you talk to him about it, he goes, yes, I want to win, but 2nd is good. I'm not going to be mad about finishing 2nd. Some of those, I think, sting more when you think you have a chance to win. Other times, he's kind of found his way to 2nd.
The gap is closing now as Cole Custer in that 0 is trying a little bit different line than what we're seeing out of Sheldon Creed, and he's closed it within a car length now.
Yeah, I think, Steve, is exactly, whoa!
7th around, and the right rear tire goes down, and the caution comes out again. Marty, what's going on? Why do we have this caution?
Rick, they never got the damage fixed for Justin Allgaier, and he was just hanging on. He was 3 seconds off the pace, had just gone down 3 laps. And if you look at the regular season championship standings, this is the night where all will be decided. And right now, Cole Custer is only 2 points behind Justin Allgaier, who is watching this regular season title slip away. They just cannot get this car fixed for Justin Allgaier. Meanwhile, Cole Custer is running second, so it all could be falling apart right here in the final few laps at Bristol for the regular season championship for Justin Allgaier.
Steve, I think that one thing that is vital in these situations is don't get caught up in the points. You have to get the car fixed correctly. If you don't, and you spin and make contact, expose the driver to potential injury, etc., with a broken car, you just have to take the time to fix it correctly.
And you see just out of control. Finally, the right rear tire goes down. I don't know. I think it was soft, and then that last big explosion you see is probably the inner liner.
So Allgaier came in with a 43-point advantage over Cole Custer for that regular season championship. As Marty mentioned, Cole Custer gained 13 points through the stages and now is just 2 points back for that regular season title.
And this team's already 4 laps down. So the only thing you're doing now is hoping other people have trouble. So what you got to do is not have any more trouble yourself. And you just got to take the time, and it'll be what it'll be. If you don't get it fixed in time to lose a couple more laps or not lose a couple more laps, then it is what it is. But you just fix it right. There's a championship to go win, and you do not need to do it and put your driver in danger of being in an accident and getting hurt.
It's the 7th caution that's come out. That means the Whelen caution lights come back on. Whelen, again, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders. Seven cautions, and I'm guessing it's not going to be the last of the 7.
Riley Herbst decides to come down and see if the last set of Goodyear tires will be the answer, Dylan.
Yeah, and that's what he's hoping for. The frustration evident on the radio. Riley just said, everything is so bound up. I feel like I can feel every single bump on this racetrack. So was struggling late in that run. Said he felt like he burned the front tires off here. They're going to make a couple changes to try to make the 98 a little better.
7 leaving pit road, as is the 98. And so the caution came out for this. The 7 spinning and the tire going down. CW Game Night starts Thursday, October 3rd, first at 8 p.m. Eastern. Raven Simone hosts a classic crossword game, Scrabble. followed at 9 p.m. by Trivial Pursuit, hosted by LeVar Burton. It's game night, and it's only on the CW.
That sounds like a good time. You any good at Trivial Pursuit?
I can spell a few things. I don't know if Trivial Pursuit helps there, but we ride along with the State Water Heaters, number 27 of Jeff Burton, and we're hearing some issues with the 00, Kim.
No issues with the 00. The fact is they came in minus 43 points to the regular season. That has changed dramatically. They've updated their driver, Cole Custer. Here's what the team told him.
Are we good where we're at? I mean, right now, I know it's going to keep changing. Right now, we're 2 back. We're 2 back of Allgaier. 2 points back. Just keep me updated as we go here.
Okay. Keep them updated, just like in Scrabble, I'll spell things. Trivial Pursuit, I won't.
I thought you were going to spell your Trivial Pursuit answers. That was super impressive.
Try it. Getting ready for the restart. 94 laps to go here at Bristol. Creed and Chandler Smith making up row 1. Chandler Smith at that 81, fighting on the inside.
Seems like a long ways at most racetracks, but at Bristol it can click off just so quickly.
First and second stages were 85 laps, so it's really, we're down to almost just the same length as what we started the race with in the first 2 stages. As Jesse Love, he has made a career out of running the bottom of this racetrack tonight.
Oh,
here comes a 00 for the lead.
Creed got really loose. Right in the middle of the corner.
Way up the racetrack goes Cole Custer. The crossover move. Here comes Sheldon Creed to the inside.
But Custer got the position he wanted. That was just a great move by Custer. Just overdrove the entry with speed. Had to stop to keep him hitting the wall, but had Creed even gotten next to him on the inside, Custer now had the outside position, which is what he wanted. Great pass.
The regular season championship up for grabs right now as they run. Cole Custer is 4 points in front of Allgaier.
Got Dale Jr. down here on the bottom. Whoa, contact, was it?
It was a little bit there. I think the 88 is the best car at the top. He just doesn't have a car good enough at the bottom to make the pass. So let's ride on board. The helmet's on board, right? So when he rolls the top, watch, he runs, kind of catches the cars in front of him. Not a great corner there. I don't know if that damage on the right front fender has hurt a little bit of the front turn. That just the 88's not good enough when it goes to the bottom to finish the passes.
I gotta tell you, how impressive it is Dale Jr. can come out here. I mean, these guys, most of them race every week, and to come out here and be able to be as competitive as Dale Jr. is, it is super impressive. I know he's driving Junior Motorsports cars, and it's really good equipment, but still, I mean, he is doing a great job.
And bring your attention down here on how Dale Jr. does this. He's one of the few drivers. Watch that right hand. It comes off the wheel. Kind of normally, you know, you think about like 9, you know, cross 9 and 6, or excuse me, 9 and 3. Then he takes that right hand from 3 and he kind of puts it over there and tugs down the wheel. Left hand stays still, right hand moves every single corner. Driven like that his whole career. Not a lot of guys do like that. Mark Martin kind of was a little bit that way. Used to wear that right rear that right elbow pad because he literally, like over here with his elbow, like down in that area, Mark would grind his elbow into the wheel.
I drove like that, didn't even know it.
Really?
I had no idea I did that. We had an in-car camera when I was running Cup, had an in-car camera for the first time. I saw myself, had no idea I was doing it.
That's habit.
Yeah, it's just habit.
I mentioned earlier the gloves. Everyone in the field is wearing gloves that have that skeleton look like we see with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Each driver is going to autograph them. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will then autograph those as well. And those go up on auction starting tonight. And that auction will go until Monday. And that benefits Nationwide Children's Hospital. And so that auction taking place again this weekend. But all of those gloves, and the drivers in both the Xfinity Series and Cup Series all wearing those gloves this weekend.
Now Dale Jr. looks to the bottom of the 20. The concern is right behind Dale is the 9 of Jones, who's pretty fast around the top as well. Dale knows he has to find a way around this 20. Easier said than done. Oh, now they go both. Now Dale wishes he would have ran the top. The 20 goes to the bottom. We'll see if the 20 goes to the bottom again in 1 and 2. I would be shocked. I would not want to give Dale Jr. the top behind you. He should be able to roll to your outside. There you go. Now Dale's going to run the top. See if he gains on the 20 down the straightaway. 20 runs pretty good around the bottom.
He did close the gap there, but the 20 drifts back up to the top of the racetrack.
Talking about Dale Jr. doing this and not running on a regular basis. Well, so is Truex in that 20 car. He runs a very limited schedule. So to be able to get into the rhythm of this race car and understand what you need out of it, racing every now and then is very difficult. See Brandon Jones jumping the outside.
Junior went to the bottom and got to the bumper of the 20. He's down there again as the 20 stays up high.
And this whole race, as we see 76 to go, is really going to come down, in my mind, of who works traffic the best. Custer leads about a second over Creed, then Chandler Smith, Love, Truex in this battle between Truex and Earnhardt Jr. But you know that 00 is going to be catching the back of traffic, so you're not going to just be able to run just the top or just the bottom. You're going to have to be able to go top to bottom, and you got to find your rhythm, Jeff, in just one corner.
Yeah, and hope you guess right. I mean, the only thing you ask of the lap cars as you catch them is to stay in one line. Pick a lane and stay in it. Let me work myself around you. Don't change lanes. I agree with you on this 88 car. I think he's faster than the 20. You just can't quite get around him. One of his better runs right there, but a car was on the bottom of the racetrack. Junior couldn't take advantage of it, but now the 9 is right there.
I like when the 88 runs that high exit, like the real high exit, doesn't turn off the wall. You know, see right there, they're pretty similar. Off of turn 4, it seems like the 20 turns off the wall, the 88 stays high, kind of like the 3/4 mark. Right about here in the corner, that time the 20 stayed up as well.
So many things happening, and again, laps clicking off at under 17 seconds a lap. Marty, you've made your way up on top of the pit box. It's a little bit louder up there, isn't it?
Yeah, Rick, we always talk about the speed here at Bristol. Well, how about the noise these crews have to deal with all night long here at Bristol? I'm seeing Ben Gisbergen's pit box right now. We're at the entrance of turn 1, and you can hear me because my mic is right on my mouth. But when I move it an inch away, it's so loud here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So, Steve, how difficult is it to communicate on top of the pit box? And imagine tomorrow night for the Cup Series race, those cars are way louder than it is tonight here for the Xfinity Series.
It's like going into a hostile arena to play football, right? You're down on the goal line trying to get the calls in, and your team can't hear you. That's what happens here. You can usually talk to your driver, because as Marty pointed out, your mic is right there, but your crew members, not all of them have intercom or private channels. Sticky notes, Rick. Talked about spelling. My spelling wasn't very good, but I could write a note on a sticky note shorthand pretty quick.
Under 68 laps to go from the last great Coliseum. Cole Custer out in front. 58 laps remaining, and Cole Custer still out front. But coming up next, it's San Jose State at Washington State. There is Washington State's gunslinger, quarterback John Mateer, who has 11 total TDs already in their first 3 games. He'll be going up against San Jose State's quarterback Emmett Brown. He's averaging over 300 yards per game this season. So a good battle there offensively for those two teams. It's getting offensive here. Custer out front, but the fight now is for second between Creed and Chandler Smith. Creed in the 18, Chandler Smith in the 81. And Jesse Love is throwing his name in the mix as well in that 2.
Jeb Burton in that 27 orange, white, and blue car. He's running the top of the racetrack. And these guys are all trying to get by him. So Jesse Love went to the bottom. They're trying to pin somebody behind the 27.
Jeb 1 lap down right now as you look back from the state water heaters on board. And so Creed has got to his inside. And Creed is going to clear the 27. And now we'll see what Chandler Smith can do. He's also now to the inside.
Don't let that 81 block us like that. Chip him.
That was the 2 radio from Jesse Love. Marty.
Yeah, that's Danny Stockman and trying to encourage his driver. And let's give some props to Jesse Love, who had never seen Bristol before he showed up at the racetrack today. And Danny Stockman joked with me, the reason he's been so good tonight, he listened to me. He asked Stockman for one piece of advice coming into the weekend. He said, if you work the bottom of the racetrack, I promise you, we will be good, we'll be in contention. And Rick, you mentioned it earlier. He listened, the driver listened to the crew chief, and Jesse Love has been so impressive. The rookie has indeed worked the bottom all night long tonight, sitting in 4th, but looking at 2nd and 3rd right in front of him.
Pretty impressive for the young driver. Again, he's just 19 years old. Varying in ages from 18 all the way up to Dale Jr., who's the young ripe age of 49 years old. They're looking back from Chandler Smith. There's Dale Jr. and the bumper going to the back of the 20.
49 and frustrated. That's what that looks like right there. The 88 knows he's better than the 20. And you can kind of see it with the natural stack up, Jeff. You talk about this all the time. You know, the Dale Jr. has the 9 right behind him and the 1 right behind him because the 20, who's not doing anything wrong. He's running his own race, but the 88 is yet to find a way around him.
Yeah, and then when someone makes contact with you and you know you're holding them up, you have a decision to make. You either dig in, you're like, you know what? Now I'm going to race you even harder, or you got the cue. All right, he's tired of messing with me. If he has a good run on me, I might want to let him go. You can go either way. I have a feeling with 47 to go, you have to do everything you can to keep Dale Jr. behind you.
And if you're wondering, you're just tuning in, getting ready for some football here later. You're running wide as Dale Jr. race in the Xfinity Series race. He's a Hall of Famer. He retired. Well, Hellman's wanted him behind the wheel of the car, and so a deal was worked out that he would get behind the wheel of a car at least 1 race out of the year. They chose Bristol.
I think that's his sales pitch to Amy. I really think Dale really loves to come race here, and he's like, listen, dear, it's a business thing. I have to go do it. We're deep down. I think he loves climbing on board at least once a year and just getting out here and racing. His radio is so much fun to listen to. He smiles around the racetrack. I think he really enjoys these weekends.
All right, Amy, I'm going to help you out. It's not your call whether he races or not. So fans, don't send her bad text. That's right. Don't get mad at her.
Moments ago, Sheldon Creed up there fighting for that 2nd spot with Chandler Smith.
Wow, look at that slide. Really loose on corner entry. We've seen that from Creed most of the night. Really loose. So here's Dale Jr.'s opportunity as he get around lap cars. Whoa, 20 in the wall. Yep, but nowhere to go because the 27 is there. See, some of it at Bristol is just timing, right? Right there, Truex in the wall. Had the 27 not been there, I think the 88 Jr. could have just turned left and gotten door to door with him, but the 27 was there.
And now he gets beside him, but has to tuck in behind.
And this was what Junior talked about pre-race. He talked about he felt like the bottom wasn't going to be very good and it was going to move to the top. And once it moved to the top, passing was going to become even more difficult than it normally is at Bristol, and that's what you're watching. See, in the past, when it was one groove but on the bottom, you could get into somebody's bumper, move them out of the way. But now if Dale Jr. gets into his bumper, Truex gets in the wall and you have nowhere to go. He takes you with him.
Right. Can't get in the gas. You heard him have to get out of the gas there. Brandon Jones looking for an opportunity. If one of these two makes a mistake, Brandon Jones will pounce on him.
Yeah, he needs a lot of help. Remember, they have to win with 38 laps to go. It's not looking good for them, but at this point, they've almost resorted to desperation mode. They're trying everything, coaching Brandon on the radio, say, hey, try this line, try this line. They're just running out of time, but Brandon has tried everything. They worked on his car all day to try and get him comfortable on the top side. They did that, but he's simply going to run out of laps at this point, Kim.
Well, how about a rebound for leader Cole Custer after right flat tire early in the race, and this team needed some good luck. Remember, they won Pocono earlier in the summer, and then it was a roller coaster. They only had one finish better than 20th in the last 5 races of this season. What a momentum burst they would get if they win this race. Remember, Cole Custer is the defending champion of this series. The playoffs start next weekend, and right now he's primed to win the regular season, which is 15 extra bonus points if he can hold the lead. Right now he just wants updates on where Sheldon Creed in second position is running behind him.
And right now it's 5 points that is separating the 00 and the 7 as far as regular season standings, but it's a big deal. The separation between first and second in the regular season, you get 15 playoff points to win the regular season. You get 10 playoff points to finish second, and that's like a race. That's like another race of wins that you're able to gain as far as playoff points and take those into the playoffs with you. Those carry along from each round. Currently leading this race, Cole Custer looking for his second win of the 2024 season. He was 19 races in at Pocono when he got his first win. Again, the defending series champion on the top of your screen. Under 31 laps to go in this race.
See the battle for 5th in the bottom right-hand corner. Brandon Jones in that yellow car was able to get by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Here's how it happened. Junior keeps trying to get by the 20 of Truex. Brandon Jones goes to the bottom. Just has really good pace, and I think Junior cut him a little slack there.
You go give it a try. I've been trying for 50 laps.
Maybe with you up there, I might be able to get the spot. If you two start trading paint. Again, Truex right now is running in the 5th position in that 20. 6th is the 9 of Brandon Jones, and 7th now is Earnhardt Jr.
And with 28 to go, the 00 continues to lead by almost 2 seconds. No more brand new Goodyear tires in the pit stall for the 00 because he had flats earlier. For the rest of the leaders, or the majority of the leaders, they do have another set of tires. So if we do see a yellow, the question is what happens? 19 cars in the lead lap. I believe a majority will come for a fresh set of tires. The 00 is kind of committed, I think, on this set. So it might not be a unanimous decision. This 9 working really well on the bottom of the 20. Can he get by him here in Claremont corner exit? Lab car up ahead. Oh, he gets him, I think.
Not quite.
Here comes the 88 as well.
But you talked about that lap track with the 43 of Ellis, but Brandon Jones to the top to block Dale Jr.
I saw the fire out the pipes of that 20 and thought it would make it happen, but really nice work by the 20. Keep the position on the racetrack.
Brandon Jones, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Sam Mayer, all out of Junior Motorsports, running 6th, 7th, and 8th right there.
And I'll give Truex a lot of credit. His car is not as fast as the guys behind him, but he has done a great job of keeping them behind. Now's your chance. Slow traffic in front. Now he's got to run to the bottom. He's not been to the bottom forever.
Brandon Jones, as the laps wind down, he knows he has to win. And you see the points on the left side of the screen. Brandon Jones, too many points back. He has to win to advance. If he wins, that knocks Sammy Smith out of the playoffs.
When Dale Jarrett talked about in the pre-race show about how you lose your temper here at Bristol, this is why, right? Because the 9 or Dale Jr. have been chasing that 20 for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 laps, and you feel like you're trying to make gains, and that person isn't cutting you any slack, and it just kind of increases the tempers inside the car. The 00, the leader, same way, trying to get by the 19. His patience much shorter, a little bit of contact. Wow.
Yeah, pretty good contact there for Joe Graff Jr. in the 19 with the wall.
Well, Custer has a 1 second lead, so, you know, it's not like he can just take his time getting by traffic. That second can go away in a heartbeat.
And how about Creed running second again?
Well, in front of the 00, this 97 and 44 have had contact a couple times. So you talk about that 1 second lead. If these two get crossed up, that 1 second could be one set of corners.
You mentioned it, 18 now on the lead lap, and the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen is right in front of Cole Custer. He is running in that 18th spot, so he is the last car on the lead lap, and 00 is going to put the bumper to the back of him.
Cole Custer is being very aggressive with this lap traffic. You got to be careful. Make somebody mad. I get it. You got to get by them, but payback can happen.
We saw SVG move down the racetrack, let him know he wasn't happy about the way he was racing him.
How about the brake rotors on that 00? Bright orange, showing he's using a lot of brake.
Custer has a 1.3 second lead over Sheldon Creed. Then it's Chandler Smith, Jesse Love, Ryan Truex, all in the top 5. Brandon Jones. Again, that was how the 00 got around the 97, but you saw the 97 come back down a little bit here.
Oh, Bristol.
Bristol. Under 13 to go. Custer looking for his second win of the 2024 season. Sheldon Creed, oh so close again. He's 1.1 seconds away. 12 times already in his career he's finished second. Chandler Smith about 2 car lengths back now from the 18. He's closing the gap. The fight for 5th between Ryan Truex still in that 20 and Brandon Jones, a must-win situation. And now Chandler Smith has caught the back of the 18 of Creed. Under 10 to go. And we mentioned tempers. Will people get frustrated here with the final 10 laps? Smith to the inside. Has to get out of the gas. Loses a lot of ground on Creed.
86 lap green flag run is what we're under right here. Tires worn out. Patience worn out. Traffic everywhere.
Another lap down for the 7 of Allgaier. And Custer looking as though he's less than 7 laps away from a possible regular season championship. With the problems for Allgaier, he's running 30th. He's 10 laps down. Cole Custer leading this race.
A little bit of clear traffic right now for Cole Custer. The next car is about 10 car lengths in front of him. So he doesn't have to push the issue with only 5 to go.
as they run. 911 points for Cole Custer, 908 points for Allgaier. That is for the regular season championship. 3 points are the difference. Custer coming up on 3 laps to go. And still, we see Chandler Smith trying to get by Creed for second.
These guys have been going at it.
Almost his whole run.
Donuts on the side of the 18 car.
Oh, the 81 has him in a good spot, stuck up behind that 44.
Had to get out of the gas, though.
This takes a little pressure off for Cole Custer. These guys racing.
Cole Custer coming up on 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank.
White flag this time.
Cole Custer, a year ago in Phoenix, was able to capture the Xfinity Series championship earlier this year. He locked himself into the playoffs with the win at Pocono. Now he's going to win at Bristol, and he wins the regular season.
Hell yeah, guys. It's Bristol night race. First time. Man, I've been wanting to get this one for a while. That's unbelievable race car. JT, Iggy, Taylor, we broke the bad luck. Playoff dash is in. Thank you, guys.
He didn't sound too winded after 300 laps at Bristol. That's pretty good.
You know, he drove a very aggressive race. Did a great job. It's fun to watch.
Fireworks on the racetrack, fireworks around the racetrack. And guess who finished second?
It's amazing.
13 second place finishes for Sheldon Creed. 13. Custer celebrating this win. Career win number 15. And it's special. You heard him on the radio. To win the Bristol night race. Custer had worked his way from the Xfinity Series up to the Cup Series, and then the successes weren't there. So he was brought back to the Xfinity Series, and his goal since coming back to the Xfinity Series was, I need and want to get back to the Cup Series. He had made that comment, he made the statement, even when he won the championship, the Xfinity Series championship a year ago, he said, I want to get back to the Cup Series. Well, it was announced this year he will race in the Cup Series again, but he wants to defend his Xfinity Series championship now, and he's celebrating with the team, Kim.
Yeah, the whole team down here, not only to celebrate the race win, but to celebrate being regular season champions in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. What a night for Cole Custer and this team. They rebound after an early flat tire to come home victorious. Cole, we heard your enthusiasm on the radio. A big win here at Bristol at night, but bigger than that, after the summer you guys have had, what a relief. What does this mean to the team?
Man, it's unbelievable. Just a testament to these guys. Really hard month, but everybody at the shop really kept their heads in it. Can't thank High Point enough. I mean, awesome to get them a win. Ford Performance. All the guys did such a great job. Unbelievable car all night. So ready to get to the playoffs.
Not only that, you are the regular season champion. What does this mean as you look to defend your title this year?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, huge to get this momentum because our confidence was going down there this last month. So to get this win really means a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cole Custer back in victory lane in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Celebrating his second win of the 2024 season. The playoffs begin in a week, and you can tell that the momentum that this 00 team has puts them now as the favorite to defend that championship. We're going to talk with Dale Jr. also when we return to Bristol.